Hey guys, it's Doran Davis, and if you've been watching the news or scrolling through social media, you've probably heard that Florida's real estate market is getting out of control. Everyone seems to think it's impossible to find an affordable spot in the Sunshine State these days. But what if I told you there's a place that might totally surprise you? That's right, Palm Coast, Florida could be the hidden gem you've been searching for, and today I'm going to break down exactly what it costs to live here in 2026. So, before you write off Florida as too expensive, let's dig into the numbers and see what's actually happening in Palm Coast. We'll look at the real cost of living, from home prices to taxes, insurance, and even your everyday expenses. I want to make sure you have every piece of information you need before making that big move, or buying your dream home. Whether you're planning on relocating, investing, or just curious about what it actually costs to live in Northeast Florida, this is essential information you do not want to miss. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to expect and how to make the smartest financial move possible if Palm Coast is on your radar. Let's start with one of the biggest reasons people are flocking to Florida, and Palm Coast in particular. There's absolutely no state income tax. That means right away, you're putting more money back in your pocket every single paycheck. For anyone relocating from states like New York, New Jersey, or California, this can mean thousands of dollars in annual savings, money you can use for your mortgage, investments, or just enjoying life a bit more. Think about it. If you're earning, say, $80,000 a year, and you move from a state with a 6% income tax, you're saving nearly $5,000 a year just by being in Florida. That's not just a small perk, that's a game changer for your budget. It's a huge draw for retirees, remote workers, and families looking to stretch their income further. Palm Coast is attracting a lot of attention because you get these tax benefits without having to live in a massive, crowded city. You get the peace, the beaches, the palm trees, and the sunshine, but you're not giving up a chunk of your income just to call it home. And it's not just about what you save. No state tax means more flexibility to travel, fix up your home, or even invest in a second property. This is one of those financial advantages that's often overlooked, but seriously, it adds up fast and can totally change your financial picture. So before you even look at home prices or cost of living, remember, Palm Coast gives you a real head start just by being in Florida. Now, let's talk real estate. One of the biggest misconceptions about Florida is that every city is as pricey as Miami or Orlando, but Palm Coast breaks that mold, and honestly, this is where the value really starts to shine. Compared to nearby cities like Jacksonville, Orlando, or especially anywhere in South Florida, Palm Coast offers some of the most affordable housing options you'll find in the state. Picture this, you can find single-family homes here for well under $400,000, and condos or townhomes for even less. In a market where people are paying $500,000 or more just to get a starter home in bigger cities, Palm Coast is a breath of fresh air. It's especially attractive for buyers coming from out of state, looking to stretch their dollar without sacrificing quality of life. And it's not just about the purchase price. Property taxes in Palm Coast are generally lower than in other parts of Florida, which means your ongoing costs stay reasonable too. Plus, the community is growing, but it hasn't been overrun with the kind of rapid price spikes you see in places like Tampa or Miami. For anyone thinking of buying, whether it's your first home, a retirement spot, or even an investment property, Palm Coast lets you get more for your money. The value here is real, and it's one of the main reasons I always tell clients, don't overlook this place if you want affordability in 2026. Alright, let's get real for a second. Insurance costs in Florida have been a hot topic, and for good reason. Over the last few years, homeowners' insurance rates have been climbing all across the state, Palm Coast included. A lot of this has to do with increased weather risks, legal changes, and just the overall cost of doing business for insurers. So, what can you expect moving into 2026? The truth is, rates are still likely to rise, but not as sharply as what we saw from 2021 through 2024. New regulations and more competition are helping to stabilize the market a bit, but you'll still want to budget carefully. For a typical home in Palm Coast, expect to pay anywhere from $2,500 to $4,000 per year for homeowners insurance, maybe a little less for condos, maybe a little more for waterfront properties. Here's the good news. There are ways to keep your costs in check. Making sure your home has up-to-date roofing, hurricane protection, and choosing the right coverage can make a noticeable difference. I always recommend working with a local pro who understands the nuances of Palm Coast market. Don't just grab an online quote and hope for the best. And remember, flood insurance is a separate policy in Florida. Not every home needs it, but if your dream place is close to the water, factor that into your budget. The key is to be informed, plan ahead, and make sure you're not caught off guard by costs that could impact your monthly payment. So, what's it actually like living day-to-day in Palm Coast? Here's where things get really interesting. Compared to bigger Florida cities, your everyday expenses, think groceries, utilities, dining out, and entertainment, are generally lower. You're not paying those big city premiums, but you still get access to all the essentials, plus plenty of local charm. Utilities here tend to be pretty reasonable. Thanks to a mild winter climate, you won't be running the heat all season long. And while summers get hot, energy-efficient homes and competitive utility rates help keep costs from getting out of hand. Groceries are on par with the national average, and you'll find lots of local markets for fresh produce and seafood. When it comes to lifestyle, Palm Coast is all about the outdoors, beaches, parks, biking trails, and golf. Activities like these are either free or super affordable compared to what you might pay in Orlando or Miami for entertainment. Plus, the community is friendly and growing with new restaurants and shops popping up all the time. For anyone relocating to Northeast Florida, it's important to know that while Palm Coast offers great value, it's not the hustle and bustle of a major metro. It's quieter, more relaxed, and perfect for families, retirees, or anyone seeking a slower pace with a fantastic quality of life. Just remember to budget for a car. Public transport is limited, so you'll want your own set of wheels to really enjoy everything the area has to offer. Alright, so, there you have it. Palm Coast, Florida in 2026 might just be the affordable Florida dream you didn't know existed. From no state income tax to lower home prices, and a lifestyle that's easy on your wallet, this area checks a lot of boxes for anyone thinking about making a move. And even though insurance costs are something to watch, being prepared and getting the right advice can keep you on track financially. If you're serious about relocating, investing, or just want an honest, personalized breakdown of the real numbers for your situation, don't hesitate. Call or text me, Doran Davis, at 757-553-8765. I'll make sure you have the most up-to-date info and help you find the right home at the best price. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, but together, we can figure out what works for you. Thanks for watching, and if you found this breakdown helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share with anyone you know who's thinking about moving to Florida. Palm Coast might just be the best-kept secret of 2026, and I'm here to help you make the most of it.